Can a 0 overall player win a league MVP in MLB The Show? To answer this question, I made a 0 overall player and played an entire season with him to see if it's possible. In my last video, we found out if it was possible just to hit a home run with a 0 overall player, and I do recommend you go watch that video first so you can see the kind of handicap I'm working with here. But now I'm taking it a step further. I took good old Dingus Dingerson that I made in the last video, and I played an entire MLB season with him. Here are the results. The first step to winning league MVP: win games. How do you win games? Be on a good team. So I threw Dingus on the Yankees and started the season. Now, as a reminder, all of Dingus's attributes are at a 0, except for durability. So this technically does bring his overall up to a 3, I think. I had to keep his durability at 99, because if you saw in the last video, I get hurt every game if my durability is at 0. So to have any chance at MVP, I need to stay healthy. But everything else, power, speed, etc., all big fat goose eggs. My strategy was simple: get hits. That's basically all I can do. As we saw in the last video, when Dingus hits the ball, he may as well be swinging a pool noodle. I just cannot hit home runs. So my goal is to finish the season with a batting average so ridiculously high that the league has no choice but to give me MVP. I started the season as a catcher. My thinking behind this was, if I played any other position, I would just have hundreds and hundreds of fielding errors, and that would hinder my MVP campaign. But I quickly realized playing catcher would take way too long, because I had to catch damn near every pitch that was thrown, and I had to play 162 games. The logical thing to do was make Dingus a designated hitter. But I was reluctant to do that. I looked it up, and no player has ever won league MVP playing primarily as a designated hitter. But the way I saw it, I really had no choice. So I made Dingus the world's least impactful designated hitter. I stuck to my strategy of exclusively using contact swings to get little dribblers into the outfield, and kept getting single after single after single. The power here is unbelievable. My speed, however, was atrocious. I mean, just look at me getting gunned down by an absolute piss missile of a throw from right field. Dingus is the only player in the league not making this tag up. Despite moving around the bases like Rosie O'Donnell, I do look pretty cool after I slide. And against all odds, after 24 games, Dingus is leading the league in batting average and hits. If we can keep this up, we might have something special. Maybe even MVP level special. Now, one thing I should mention: player stats do slightly change through the season, and I think it's based off of performance. So throughout the video, you'll see Dingus's stats going up ever so slightly, but he's still hot garbage, trust me. Now that being said, shortly after that 24 game mark, I got my first double of the season. This was an absolutely mind-blowing exhibition of offensive prowess. And at that point I began to wonder, have I underestimated the ability of this glorified bat boy? In order to find out, I implemented a new strategy of 1 power swing per game. And after 50 full games, Dingus got his first major league home run. This was huge. When I started this video, I genuinely wasn't sure if I could win MVP based on batting average alone, but if I can rack up a decent amount of homers and RBIs, I absolutely have a chance. In fact, I homered again at my very next at-bat. Dingus was rolling, or so I thought. That 2 home run game was definitely a fluke, and the power swing started lowering my batting average. I had to try new things. I thought I discovered a truly overpowered strategy of just drilling the pitcher with the ball and then getting on base. I mean, just look at that. That ball turned into a fucking heat-seeking missile, going straight for that pitcher's entire career. But I tried it again and got thrown out at first, so that ended up not really working out. Jumping ahead to the All-Star break, I could finally get an idea of if I had a real chance at winning MVP. The Yankees are 1 game back from the Red Sox, and Dingus is leading the league in batting average and hits. My strategy is being executed perfectly. I managed to rack up 11 more homers after that 2 home run game to go along with 59 RBIs. Not bad, right? Well, looking at the All-Star voting, I'm in second? As a catcher, still, having only played like 3 games behind the plate, so maybe that's good. I'm only 7,000 votes behind Salvador Perez, and we're both way ahead of everyone else. But looking at the MVP race, I'm not even top 3. But you know who is? My frickin' teammate, Anthony Rizzo. Seeing this, I only had one choice.
Sabotage.
I sent his ass straight to the bench. This video is called Can a 0 overall win MVP? And I cannot if my own teammate is stealing all my glory. A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do, so straight to the bench he goes. Unfortunately, sabotaging my own teammate wasn't enough. After 107 regular season games, the New York Yankees sent me down to the minor leagues for poor performance. I couldn't believe it. I thought maybe it was a mistake, so I put myself back into the lineup, but it only got worse. 2 games later, I was sent back to the minors. This time, all the way down to single-A baseball. I had played every single at-bat for 107 games. Dingus was leading the league in batting average and hits. And not only was I not in the MVP conversation, I got cut from the team. I was devastated. So what is a baseball player to do when he's 45 years old and being told he's performing poorly? Yep, that's right. PEDs. Let's just take this slider to here, and this one to here. Boom. Just like that, baby. I'm back in the big leagues. 53 games left to make my case for MVP. My very first game back, I went 3 for 4 with 3 home runs. If anyone so much as mentions minor leagues again while in my presence, they're cut from the team immediately. 25 juiced up games later, we've done it. Dingus is at the top of the MVP leaderboard, batting .399 with 29 homers and 97 RBIs. Just got to keep it up for a few more games and Hollywood's going to be begging to make a movie about us. I was worried for a bit that the league would catch on to my steroid use, partially due to my insane increase in production, and partially due to the acne and Magnum PI mustache that sprouted from my face. But they didn't. Everyone loved to watch Dingus Dingerson go yard night after night. The highlight of this miraculous turnaround? Dingus broke the single season hit record with a grand slam. After that, everyone started calling him Big Dick Dingus. Even the opposing team had to stop and admire what a specimen of a man he is. In the final game of the regular season, Dingus turned back the clock and put in an absolute choke job of a performance, going 0 for 4 at the plate. But it didn't matter. The race was over. Finishing the season with a league-leading batting average of .402, a league-leading 49 home runs, a league-leading 148 RBIs, and an MLB record of 276 hits. Dingus Dingerson is your Rookie of the Year, American League MVP, and wins a Silver Slugger to go with it. So, can a 0 overall player win League MVP? The answer? Absolutely. If you sabotage your own team for personal gain and abuse PEDs and play the entire season on beginner. But that's still a yes.